pay for my kids. 2. My sister snapped and threw me a $12,800 invoice, tuition, gadgets, camp. I said, not a cent. A week before Thanksgiving, I overheard her telling Mom, I have a plan. After dinner, he pays for my kids. Mom nodded. There are no other kids in this family. So, I changed the plans. On November 23rd, Ava texted, "Where are you?" I laughed and told her not to wait or expect the catering. My name's Ryan. I'm 34, the middle kid, default driver, family IT desk. I keep spare batteries in my glove box, a PDF scanner on my phone, and a little notebook that tracks every loan with the date and the phrase Friday, for sure. I'm a bookkeeper for a small construction firm. I like tidy lines, receipts that match, and coffee that's gone cold because I forgot it mid-spreadsheet. Ava, my older sister, is the golden one, big laugh, perfect hair, marketing career. My younger brother, Nate, is effortlessly charming, somehow always landing on a couch. Our parents orbit Ava like she's the only warm thing in space. Her achievements earn speeches, mine get nods. Nate, he's finding himself. I don't complain. I manage the family group chat, add birthdays to the shared calendar, take photos at events, fix printers, Venmo, and show up. This year, I had a simple Thanksgiving plan: bring Brussels sprouts, help Dad set up the folding table, smile through comments about my single life, and leave early. Then, the Sunday before Thanksgiving, I dropped off a cooler at my parents' house. The back door sticks unless you lift and push. I did both. Halfway in, I froze. Voices in the kitchen, Mom's sharp whisper, Ava's bright confidence. I have a plan, Ava said, smiling in her tone. After dinner, he pays for my kids. Easy, we'll slide the invoice over with dessert. How much? Mom asked. Only $12,800 for the semester, not even a full year. Mom hummed approvingly. There are no other kids in this family. We all pitch in. He'll do the right thing. Something in me went still. I stood in the laundry room, cooler in hand, syncing my breath to the clock's tick. He won't say no in front of everyone, Ava said. He never does, Mom replied. I set the cooler down, slipped out the sticky door, and stood on the porch until my pulse slowed. On the drive home, Ava texted, "Heads up, I'll need your card after dessert. It's simpler if you just do it, okay? Love you." A minute later came the email, subject, "Pay for my kids." 2. I didn't reply. I watched the gas light flicker, thought of my notebook filled with dates and names, all those unpaid Fridays. That was the first trigger. I didn't act, just put my phone face down, drove home, and made a turkey sandwich I didn't taste. At the table, the fridge hummed. A crayon drawing from my nephew stared back, 3 stick figures, a too big sun, Uncle Rin scrawled underneath, "Close enough." I told myself not to overreact. It's just talk, I thought, just Ava being Ava, Mom doing the mom thing. I brushed my teeth, set my alarm, and stared at the ceiling until morning. It didn't start with a $12,800 invoice. It started years ago, smaller numbers, same pattern. When Ava had her first baby, I paid for the hospital parking. For her second, I covered the doula deposit. "We'll pay you Friday," she said. That turned into a thank you card and a gift card to a cafe that closed in 2018. Oops, Ava laughed. You should have used it. I paid Nate's traffic ticket, my parents' overdue electric bill, bought new foldable chairs last Thanksgiving because the squeak gave Mom a headache. No one asked, I offered. That's on me. I like solving things, ending problems cleanly. In our family, money follows a rule. Ava has expensive emergencies. Nate has urgent opportunities. My parents have constant surprises. And I have stability. Mom says stable like it means limitless. She always says, "We're proud of how you support each other. That's what family does." She'll tell me to aspire higher, then text a screenshot of Ava's Amazon cart with, "Can you grab these?" And at the bottom, "We're not keeping score." Except she always is. So I started keeping quiet score myself, not from spite, from sanity. January 12th, Ava, $180. Field trip fund plus cleats. March 3rd, Nate, $400. Deposit for room he didn't get. April 29th, parents, $1,260. Plumber. Rows of names and dates. A checkmark meant repayment, not many checkmarks. Ava's kids go to a private school with glossy brochures and kids in blazers playing violins. She calls it an investment. She also calls new phones, summer camps, and coding kits investments. Her husband, Eric, is polite until money enters the room. Then, silence. They're not villains, they're just used to the world rearranging itself to make their choices look smart. A year ago, Ava emailed another invoice, emergency tuition gap, $3,600. Just cover it and I'll sort it with Dad, she wrote. Dad still hasn't sorted a thing except bolts and coffee cans in the garage. I paid it, told myself it was the last time. Then came the STEM kits, only $799. Ryan, don't be cheap, they're curious. Then the fall trip to DC, just the deposit, $1,500 now, they'll fundraise later. And the scholarship application fee, a fee to apply for a scholarship. That one broke me a little. I don't have kids. My guesses about future expenses live in a small spreadsheet tab labeled someday, but I'm not clueless. Rent's up, milk's up, the dentist might as well charge admission. My car needs new tires. The tooth that buzzes sometimes? Probably a crown soon. I budget like someone who knows 3 bad months can erase 10 good ones. I've told her no, sometimes. Once, she handed me an actual printed invoice at my nephew's birthday party, like a party favor. Gadgets, she said, they need them for school. They don't need 2 iPads and new headphones for kindergarten, I said. It's for brain development, she replied. Mom, cutting cake, said, don't stifle them. They have more devices than I do, I said. Maybe that's your problem, Ava said. Eric laughed, he's old school. Dad turned up the music. When I push back, my mother gets strategic. There are no other kids in this family, she'll say, which means every expense belongs to everyone. We don't separate, we all do our part. Ava's part is choosing nice things. Nate's part is making everyone laugh. My part is paying for the nice things and laughing along. There was the year my parents forgot to save for property taxes. I covered it because the penalty scared them. The month Nate's landlord threatened eviction, I spotted him because it's complicated. The holidays when I bought half the food because light catering makes mom feel like a queen. Nothing light about the bill. Every time, I told myself the same thing, it's family, and I can afford it. Here's the truth I hate admitting, being the rescuer feels good, until it doesn't. It makes me feel capable, it turns noise into quiet, but quiet bought with resentment isn't real quiet. It's holding your breath until everyone calms down, you still suffocate. So when I heard Ava tell my mother, I have a plan, after dinner, he pays, something inside me stopped wobbling. Not rage, not yet, just a steady, internal no, not again. I didn't text back, didn't forward the invoice, didn't call grandma for backup. I poured a bowl of cereal at 11 p.m., ate it standing up, and practiced the words I can't do that until my cat sat down and stared at me like I was making sense. I barely slept. Every time I drifted off, I heard mom's voice, there are no other kids, and saw a table with pie, a printed invoice, and everyone's eyes turning to me. In the morning, I opened the invoice again. Tuition $8,400, gadgets $2,100, camp deposit plus gear $2,300, total due $12,800, due date ASAP, before Thanksgiving to avoid late fees. Ava had added a note, you can put it on your rewards card. I closed the PDF, looked at myself in the mirror, and said, no. It sounded small, so I said it again, and again until it sounded like a full sentence. Thanksgiving planning is ritual in our family. Mom makes the list. Ava adds expensive touches. Nate promises ice and forgets it. I fill the gaps. This year, Mom wanted light catering for turkey and sides because the oven hates me. She recited the menu like poetry, herbed turkey, truffled potatoes, glazed carrots, mac and cheese for the kids, 3 pies. We'll pick up rolls, she added, as if that balanced it out. Who's paying? I asked, though I already knew. Don't start, she said, we're all pitching in, under $1,000, reasonable. I thought about the month so far, $300 to Nate for bridge until Tuesday, $210 for my parents' prescription copay, and the $70 internet bill I still pay because you set it up. Sweetie, it's easier if you keep it. I felt the buzzing tooth. I can't do catering this year, I said. I'll bring dessert. Mom sighed like I'd dropped a tray. Ava's kids won't eat Brussels sprouts. They'll eat what everyone eats, I said, and my voice didn't wobble. She made a noise. Ava's handling the important part, she said, meaning the invoice. Don't be difficult. I'll be there at 2, I said, then I hung up. The clock on my wall ticked like an ankle swinging under a chair. I opened the invoice one more time, a wave of heat, then calm. Clarity feels like a temperature drop. 2 days before Thanksgiving, Ava texted, "Hey, send the card details so I can pre-run it with the school and camp. Saves time Thursday." I typed back one word, "No." She sent 12 question marks and a voice note that started with a laugh and slid into, "Are you serious, Ryan? Don't make this weird. It's for the boys. You're good with money. You literally love budgets. Just do the thing." I called her. "I'm not paying your invoice," I said, "not a cent." She made a sound like a dropped phone. "Excuse me? I'm not paying. I won't discuss it at dinner or after dinner, and if you bring it up, I'll say no in front of everyone." "You're punishing my kids." "I'm not punishing anyone. I'm ending a pattern. I'm not your second parent." Mom said. I heard what Mom said. I cut in. "There are no other kids in this family." "That's not true. There are your kids, there are someday kids, there are hypothetical kids, and then there's me, a separate person." She went quiet. Then, "Wow, on Thanksgiving week, you're heartless." "I'm boundaryful," I said, regretted the phrasing, not the meaning. She hung up. That night, Mom called. "Ava says you're being difficult." "I'm saying no." Mom launched into her favorite speech. "We raised you, we did without, we never asked." "You ask all the time," I said, "you just don't call it that." Silence, brief, brittle. Then, "Family isn't transactional." "Money is," I said, "and this is money. You'll regret this." "I already regret the last 5 emergencies." More silence. Then, "Fine, don't bring a thing." She hung up like she was slamming a door. I waited for guilt to hit. It didn't. It felt like setting down a heavy bag I'd been carrying too long. A week before Thanksgiving, I drove to my parents' house. I wanted to look my mother in the eye and test my resolve. The curtains were open. I saw Mom and Ava at the kitchen table, heads bent over paper. I lifted and pushed the sticky door. Their voices floated out before they noticed me. "I have a plan," Ava said, same tone as before. "After dinner, he pays for my kids. I'll do a toast about gratitude, talk about community, then slide the invoice over. He won't embarrass me in front of the boys." Mom nodded. "There are no other kids in this family. He'll do the right thing when he sees their faces." I stepped into the frame. "Hi." They flinched. Mom covered the paper like a teenager hiding a quiz. "Ryan, oh, we didn't hear you." "Sticky door," I said. Ava recovered instantly. "Great timing. Look, about Thursday." "No," I said, "we're not doing that." "Doing what? The performance? The toast? The invoice?" She laughed brightly. "I'm not paying. Not now, not after dessert, not later." "You really want to do this here?" she asked, lowering her voice like I was the one being dramatic. "I want to do this once," I said. Mom's mouth tightened. "You're being cruel." "I'm being clear," I said. "Clarity sounds cruel when you're used to getting your way." Ava pushed the invoice toward me anyway. "Just look." "I've looked," I said. "It says $12,800. That's not my bill." "Everyone benefits when my kids succeed," she said. "That's how families grow wealth. I benefit when my savings exist, when my car gets new tires, when I can handle my own dental work. I'm not setting myself on fire to keep you warm." "You love those boys," Mom said. A statement, not a question. "I do," I said, "enough not to tie their joy to my credit limit." Ava stared. "You've changed." "I've noticed," I said, and turned to leave. The conversation had looped. I'd reached the start again. On the porch, my phone buzzed. "Catering." "Hi, we just need the card on file to run the deposit for Thursday." I pictured Mom's smiling face when the trays arrived, bragging about light catering. I felt the weight of years in my hands. "I won't be placing that order," I said. "Take my name off the account." If someone else wants to handle it, they'll call you. Okay, she said, practiced. I hung up. Then I made a different call. Caro, who runs a tiny cafe, had 2 small Thanksgiving boxes left. I bought one for me and one for Nate. He'd eat cereal otherwise if Mom went nuclear. Pick up November 23rd at 1 p.m. She texted. Done. I also bought a frozen pumpkin pie. An empty plate on a quiet table feels like a small failure, so I put a note on it, November 23rd. November 23rd, 11:15 a.m. My phone lit up. Ava, where are you? Mom, ETA? Dad, your mother is nervous. Group chat, don't be late. I took a photo of the sky empty and sharp and typed back to Ava, don't wait for me. The texts from catering came, WAT. Are you kidding? Mom thinks you're picking it up. They're already here. You're going to humiliate us. I replied, I told you I wasn't paying. Enjoy your plan. I changed mine. Then I turned the phone face down and picked up the cafe boxes. I brought one to Nate's apartment. He opened the door in socks and relief. I love you forever, he said, grabbing the box. Mom said, there's drama. There's clarity, I said. He nodded like he'd been waiting for that word. I went home, warmed my food, cut the pie, and ate at my little table with the bad plant that refuses to die. I watched a movie I know by heart. It felt like a day inside my life, not a performance I was drafted into. The calls came in waves. Mom, how could you? Dad, you put us in a terrible position. Ava, you're dead to me. Then, okay, not dead, but wow. Then, you ruined Thanksgiving. Then, the boys are crying. They cry when there are no marshmallows. I know how this works. I waited until 7 p.m., then called Mom. Did people eat? I asked. Yes, she said tightly. We ordered pizzas. Good, happy Thanksgiving. You should apologize. For what? For abandoning your family. I didn't abandon anyone, I said. I refused to finance a trap. There's a difference. You did it for attention. I did it to stop bleeding money. You think you're better than us. I'm separate from you. That's new. I like it. She hung up. Ava texted at 9, we need to talk tomorrow. Noon. I replied, no, next week if you want. Not about money. You're unbelievable. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb and slept to the hum of my radiator. The fallout week. Monday, Aunt called, you broke Mom's heart. I said it'll heal. Tuesday, Eric left a voicemail explaining their cash flow. I deleted it. Wednesday, Grandma texted a heart and, proud of you for standing strong. I cried in my car for 2 minutes. Thursday, Nate sent a photo of an empty plate with thank you written in gravy. I laughed too hard. Friday, Mom posted on Facebook about kids these days and losing values. I resisted, values are not a payment plan. A week later, Ava sent a shorter invoice, tuition only $1,800. I replied with a link to a scholarship program and a budget template. She wrote, don't treat me like a client. I wrote, okay, and didn't. 2 weeks later, Mom tried again. Can you at least cover Christmas dinner? I'll bring 2 sides. You don't love me. I love you enough to stop lying by paying. Silence. Then, we'll see. 3 weeks later, Ava called from her car. Turn signals clicked. I hate you, she said. I know, I said. Me too. The boys asked if Uncle Ryan is mad at them. Tell them I love them. I just can't be the money guy anymore. Eric says you're being dramatic. Maybe it's working. We ended the call with nothing solved. No invoice sent. That felt like a win. It's quieter now, not silent, just less buzzing noise in my head. I'm learning peace isn't everyone being happy with me. Peace is me not being furious at myself. Mom still says, there are no other kids in this family. I say, there are, and I'm one of them. Dad still tries logistics. What if we split in thirds? I say, I'm not splitting your choices. Nate still borrows $40 sometimes. I give it if I can. He pays me back, screenshot. Thumbs up emoji like we're proving something together. Ava mostly stopped sending invoices. She sends questions now, cheaper camp, used gadgets, autopay setup. I help when I can, say no when I can't. She tries guilt once a month. I let it pass. She sends photos of the boys at the park. I heart it. I send a sticker book, not a laptop. I put new tires on my car. The highway hums steady, safe. I booked a dentist appointment, told them I want to fix the crown in March. I set up a small automatic transfer to someday, $100 a month. Mine. Not impressive. Mine. For Christmas, I brought mac and cheese and roasted carrots. Mom tried again, "You don't love me." When I wouldn't pay for light catering, I said, "I love you, I'm not paying." She squinted, then hugged me angry, affectionate, human. That's my mother. I accept the hug, not the invoice. If someone slid you a bill with a smile, or planned your generosity like weather, here's what I learned. Write your lines, out loud, actual sentences. I can't do that. That's not my bill. I'm ending a pattern. I love you. No. Say them until they stop shaking. Expect the calls, texts, posts. Expect the quiet after you hold your line. That quiet is weird, beautiful. I didn't fix my family, I changed my part. I stopped funding disrespect, stopped treating my wallet like a fire extinguisher, stopped confusing helpful with available. I became a person with my own budget, my own holidays. On November 23rd, Ava texted, "Where are you?" I laughed, told her not to wait or the catering. First holiday with my new rule. It wasn't a triumph, just a table with 2 place settings, a pie, and a man eating slowly, feeling something new. Relief. My name is Ryan, I'm 34, middle kid, bookkeeper, person with boundaries. There are, in fact, other kids in this family. One of them is me, and I'm finally acting like it.